an eye test that had to happen. It's your boy Dame. Subscribe to Dame's World on the YouTube. Hit the likes, hit the shares. Let's get through the algorithms. Today we got a doozy. Two very comparable players. One back in the day in his prime, one in a prime today. Ja Morant versus Derrick Rose. Who is the better player in their prime? We know Derrick Rose MVP year after was about his prime. One of the best players I've ever seen in my era. And Ja Morant today, one of the best players in today's game. I say right now, 2022, he's playing like a top 5 player in the league. You feel me? Tearing the league up, and essentially this, in comparison to his first 2 years, this is his MVP Rose type year. Similar play styles, both explosive guards, both get to the cup with ease. Both are just a prototype in regards to big guards, new era scoring type, take over a game guard. So with that being said, I have to do the comparisons. So without further ado, we're gonna break down uh, topic by topic eye test. You know I got my criteria while we play the tape. So without further ado, let's get it. I'm gonna play Ja Morant's tape first. Then I'll play some of Rose. As we see him Euro by the defense. Scoring. Both these players are elite scorers for guards. Scoring is a 5-point category. I gave both of them 4.5. I don't think I could comfortably say anyone is a better scorer. They both make a deliberate effort to get to the cup, as you see Ja Morant right there, and always average between 8 and 12 points per game uh, in that arena. Ja Morant's three is improving, just as Derrick Rose's three was improving his MVP year. So essentially, when it comes to scoring, these people demand a double, demand help defense, or else one-on-one they're going to take you, rip you to pieces. So 4.5 out of 5, even category for Ja and Rose. Second category, shooting. Out of 4, I gave Ja Morant a 3 out of 4, which is a 75%. Getting much better at his jump shot, though it's still improving. Uh, I can't say it's fully trustworthy, even though this is the best year, as we see Ja hit a 3 right here. Wop wop. Even though it's his best year, I would say he still has a little bit of a ways to go to be considered a dangerous shooter. Even his form to me is kind of like I have reluctance on him and Rose's form, actually. None of these players are like elitist shooters, but decent nonetheless. So, oh my God. Oh my God. We have to bring that back. But Ja 3.0 shooting, Rose 3.6. Rose in his MVP year had a better mid range than Ja, and even the 3-point line I felt was more consistent. I don't know Ja's percentage, but I do know Rose's mid range and his free throw was clearly at an advantage against Ja Morant. And their threes could be about even, maybe slightly Rose. So nonetheless, I gave him 3.6. As you see the dribble, I want you guys to pay attention to the similarities. That dribble right there is a Rose type dribble. Watch as he pulls it forward with his left right here. Accelerates, bang on. That's a new era Rose play right there. So shooting, I got Derrick Rose. Passing out of 4. Ja Morant is a dangerous passer. I will say he turns the ball over a lot, which kind of stagnates his potential for a standard 4.0. I gave him a 3.8 out of 4. That dunk is amazing. I gave Rose a 4 out of 4. Derrick Rose, whether it's Noah, Boozer, jumping in the air, creating for others, was a great passer at point guard and still is a great passer. I believe his facilitating is underrated because he's such a dangerous scorer, as we see Ja get to the cup again. But I had Rose at, look at this play. Full court. Full court, play of the year. Passing, I had Rose 4.0. IQ, both of them 4. I think both of them do what needs to be done, play by play. Take what nice cross. Take what the defense gives them, facilitates, play defense very well. Ja does have make mistakes, is more turnover savvy, but I think his IQ is at an elite level. So both of them get a 4.0. Rose, same IQ. Defense, this is a 5-point category because it's important. Ja Morant can improve on defense. He has a 3.9 out of 5. I believe he doesn't uh, take maximum effort in regards to defense as Rose did in his MVP year. Rose was consistently on the best point guards, strapping them up, always winning his matchup. Whereas not to say Ja did spin move. That's a Rose move. Not to say Ja didn't win his matchups, but they were much closer and I haven't seen him do too many shut down, lock up games against elite defenders. Whereas Derrick Rose, whoever he played, they had a tough time offensively and defensively against him. I gave Rose a 4.7 out of 5 just for his on ball defense alone. Rose was very strong, very fast, skilled defender, slid his feet, fought the picks. He was an aggressive guard defender that people didn't want. Nice. Another Rose esque. People didn't want D Rose guarding him. So with that being said, I had D Rose easily at the defensive category, 4.7 out of 5. Ja 3.9 out of 5. As we pause the tape and we go to another tape. You feel me? Back to bike in this bitch. So Derrick Rose got the defense. Ball handle out of 4. Ja 3.8. Good ball handler. I think he has a high dribble. Uh, and he's not as shifty as Derrick Rose, but a decent elite ball handler to say the least at point guard. Derrick, look at this. Watch how fast he moves. Well, that's light. Watch his other move. But Derrick Rose handle 4.0. One of the best handlers atop his speed and quickness and shiftiness. His ability to handle the ball at that level, something we haven't seen before. Not as shifty as an Iverson, but controls the ball and can't look how fast that is. That's a part of ball handling. Moving that fast at this pace against elite players, but clearly being faster than everybody on the floor. Watch this. Ugh. Turns on the Jets. So Derrick Rose handle is a 4.0. Elite level handles. Finishing, I gave both of them a 5 out of 4. These are some of the best guard finishers you'll ever see. Rose finishing over your head as well as layups. Ja finishing over your head as well as layups. This is the most similar I can find them in regards to how they attack the rim with aggression, with speed, with ferocity, with that. Ah! Oh my God. As you see Ja give you a great play, I got to give you Rose with that. This is what these type of guards are capable of. Back in the day, we didn't see guards do this. Now it's like, oh my goodness, you getting boomed on by a 6'2" point guard. So finishing, I have them both at a 5. Driving to the rack, I had Ja at a 4 out of 4. Perfect. The only difference is I had Rose at a 5 out of 4 because Rose is more evasive, more shifty. They're both speedsters and they both use their athleticism to their advantage. The difference between Rose is when it comes to isolation, he has a plethora of moves to evade you, whereas Ja is just learning to get more of an arsenal and not rely on his speed and athleticism. They both still get to the rack with ease, so Ja's still a 4 out of 4. Rose is just impeccable with athleticism as well as shiftiness, which is why I gave him 5 out of 4. Post play, both of them don't post well. 2 out of 4 for both of them. Hardly see Rose back to the basket. When you do, he might throw up a floater, and you seldom see Ja back to the basket. Athleticism, however, 5 out of 4 for 5 out of 5 for Rose. The most athletic point guard I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anyone as fast, as strong, as uh, bouncy as Rose. The closest person I've seen, honestly, was Ja Morant. which I gave him a 4.9 out of 5. Right? Almost perfect. These are the two most athletic guards. Even Ja is more bouncy than Westbrook. You feel me? Westbrook plays at a high tempo, but Ja might be more athletic than Westbrook. And I think Rose, because he's stronger and faster than Ja, is more athletic. Bounce is arbitrary, debatable. I think Ja might even have more bounce, but Rose is definitively stronger and definitively faster in my opinion and quicker. That's just my assessment. You watch their first step, you watch how they blow by to the rack consistently. Rose looks faster than Ja Morant. Transition, this is a good one. I gave Ja 4 out of 4. I gave Rose 5 out of 4 though. Rose was a one-man transition. The reason why Ja is perfect on transition because he could be a one man, but he also can play the wings and catch a lob and catch a body out of nowhere. Rose can do the same. Both of them are dangerous fast break players. I just give it to Rose 5 out of 4 because consistently he pushed the tempo like this and didn't need anybody else to run the break with him, i.e. LeBron James, i.e. Allen Iverson. Rebound, 2.5 out of 4, both of them. Both can rebound. They don't make a deliberate effort to be the best rebounder on the floor. Point guards looking to push. So 2.5 out of 4. Isolation. Ja gets a 3.7 out of 4. Like I said, he could improve in that arena once he gets his moves about himself, understands the game or reads the double, things like that. He could potentially be a 4 out of 4. Rose, 4 out of 4, easy. I've been watching Rose my whole career. Nobody can guard him one on one, no matter who you put on him. LeBron, Kobe, KD, elite guard. Insert whoever you want. He couldn't be guarded one on one. Even today, he still can't be guarded one on one. So 4 out of 4 for isolation. Off ball. Out of 4, I gave Rose a 2.9. Not the best off ball player. Can slash to the rim, be available on the cut, but usually a primary ball handler to where off ball he's not going to be as elite. Ja Morant, I gave 3.1 out of 4. I think he's more privy to off ball than Rose with his slashing, with his uh, fast break wing presence. I just gave Ja a slight notch in that arena off ball. Offhand, I gave Ja 2.8 out of 4, while I gave Rose a 3.6. Ball handling and finishing Rose's offhand is what I would consider elite for the average basketball player. Most basketball players don't master their offhand. Oh my god, nice. Most basketball players don't master their offhand. You got Kobe, you got Chef, you got Kyrie, and then you'll have somebody like Rose. You feel me? Because a lot of players don't uh pride in having their left just as good as their right. These two players, though, however, or Rose, however, has a decent left. Ja has a cool left, but it could be better, especially in the ball handling realm. He can finish good with his left, but his ball handling with his left is not as spectacular. As we move back to Giles highlights, you feel me? We might as well rotate. Almost done. So offhand Rose, crossover, I gave Ja 3.6 out of 4. He can evade you with the cross. He just needs more of a package to be at that elitist A plus level. Whereas Derrick Rose, 4 out of 4 crossover. One of the shiftiest players I've seen. He has the standard rocker, the left to right rocker, even a double cross. He's gonna evade you and he's gonna slide you. Derrick Rose has slid many players with the step back or with a similar cross, left to right, right to left, double. He has a bag that has been used throughout his career. So Derrick Rose is the better crossover player. Triple threat out of 4, I gave Ja 3 and I gave Rose a 3.5 simply because of the quickness and the speed. Rose's blow by ability makes him a better crossover player. Ja Morant has the blow by ability, but I will also say Ja Morant is less of a threat when he's in a triple threat to pull up the mid range or just shoot. So that makes him a little bit easier to guard. You notice people backed up off Ja Morant even this year. Rose never got backed up on. You feel me? Even though he wasn't, well, I can't say never, but not as much as Ja Morant. Even though he didn't frequent shooting, people respected his jumper enough to not back off 5 to 10 feet. Ah, whereas Ja didn't get as much respect and still don't get that much respect when it comes to three, even though he should because it's getting better. So triple threat, I got Rose. Killer, Rose, 4 out of 4. Rose is clutch. Rose is big time. Rose always comes through when it matters. Playoffs, crunch time plays. He was the Bulls' threat, and he's still a threat in the crunch time today. Ja Morant, 3.1 out of 4. He's a threat. I just haven't seen him in too many big moments catapult his team to that level. So as a youngster, it remains to be seen if he's elite level clutch. But we will see down the line, and I think he can get there. Skill, 4.2 out of 5. Ja Morant is elite skill. When it comes to ball handling, shooting getting better, uh, getting to the rack, offhand, uh, passing. He's a very skilled player, even though he prioritizes in athleticism. He doesn't lack skill. Rose just a bit more skilled. I gave him 4.8 out of 5. Offhand a little better, ball handle a little better, jumper a little better, defense a little better in regards to defensive slides and being where he needs to be. So just overall, Rose is a little more smooth than Ja Morant. I think Ja Morant is uh, a project version of Rose. Like, not that he's from the projects. Rose is from the projects too, nigga. But the build your player, Ja is a young version of Rose that is working his way into being that elite level. You feel me? He tightens up his handle, tightens up his jumper, fortifies himself on defense, maybe even gets a little bit bulkier, then he will be the prototype just like Rose was. He is the next Rose of this era. You feel me? And that's saying a lot. So skill, I had Rose. Sustainability, I had Ja Morant, 3.5 out of 4. Rose, 2.2 out of 4. We know Rose got injured right after his MVP year and battled with injuries very often. So easily a Ja Morant category. As we go back, we're just gonna go back and forth until I'm done, baby. Easily a Ja Morant category. Clutch, I have Rose, 4.4 out of 4. Clutch, one of the clutchest players, kind of like a Chris Paul in regards to clutch. Ja Morant, 3 out of 4. Like I said, remains to be seen. Even though he has clutch moments, I just need to see more to give him an A clutch level. Hustle, both of 2 out of 3. None of them like great hustlers, getting on the floor and being. When you're a superstar, that hustle category kind of goes, you feel me, awry. Grit, both of them 2.8 out of 3. Street type players, aggressive, won't talk shit, but they'll let their players know it's problems. You won't see them vocalize too often, but you will see their players know that they ain't nothing to fuck with. So grit 2.8, both of them. Team player, both 3 out of 3. I think both of them have the same demeanor in regards to team player. Very friendly with their players. Passive as well as aggressive. Leaders, quiet leaders that are respected in their locker room by everyone, loved by everyone. So I gave them both a 3. As you see Joel Anthony get yiked on. Coachability, 3 out of 3 as well. They don't bark back. They're not prima donnas or divas. They're basketball players from a place that gave them humility, humbled them. Rose being from Chirac, Ja Morant, I don't know where he's from, but he has that same level of humility too, to where they can be coached and they're not just gonna look at that speed. They're not just gonna overrule their coach and give them problems. So with that being said, all the categories considered, Derrick Rose is still the better player. Derrick Rose is more fine-tuned than Ja Morant. That first step is amazing. Derrick Rose is just was more complete at the time in his third year. Rose MVP year was third year. Ja's third year is now. Ja is having an excellent year. Rose's era had better defense. Even Joel Anthony is a defender. Miami Heat defenders. So you might see the stats more inflated for Ja, but as far as game style and gameplay, they have very similar styles. Derrick Rose is just a notch above in more categories. I had Rose winning 14 categories. I had them tying 9 categories, and I had Ja winning 2 categories. And their overall rankings out of 100, Ja Morant got 86.2 on my scale. Derrick Rose got 93.2 93.2. One of the highest in Dame's world. Prime Derrick Rose is, look at that. Prime Derrick Rose is a 93.2. And with that being said, I have Derrick Rose prime over Ja Morant now. Ja Morant could get better and eclipse Derrick Rose or be better than anybody essentially if he maximizes himself, stays healthy, and does his thing. But for right now, and while we got the comparisons rolling, I gave it to Derrick Rose by a decent margin. 93.2, 86.2, 7 points. I think it's clear that Derrick Rose MVP was more fine-tuned than Ja Morant. But that's just my opinion. It's your boy Dane. Let me know your thoughts in your comments. I Test Classic. Well, I got y'all here. Beauty of Being Wrong hardcover available. You see it right there. Hardcover available on Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles. Barnes and Noble's hardcover has the white outlining for those who want that design. Amazon has the all blue cover if you want that design. So whatever you privy to, go out and get that and support your boy. Either way, we loving it. We keeping it moving, keeping it pushing. That being said, it's your boy Dame. Much love. I got Derrick Rose, but Ja Morant ain't far behind. Let me know your thoughts in your comments. It's your boy Dame.